Hey guys, it's Wanti from Play Tennis Singapore, and today I'm back with the 5th video of the series that aims to improve your strength, your mobility, as well as conditioning. So today's video will be based on mobility. So what is mobility? Actually, mobility is your joint's ability to be able to move effectively through a wide range of motion. So for example, in tennis, you'll be using your hips, it requires a lot of mobility, as well as your shoulders, which requires a lot of mobility as well. Okay, so what examples do I have in terms of tennis that requires good mobility? Okay, for example, in your normal ground strokes, you need lots of hip mobility to perform your unit turn. So for example, when you're coming in, as usual, like mentioned in the previous video, you need a lot of hip mobility to actively move through the range of motion for your hips. From here, all the way to here. Okay? Second thing, for your serves, you need a lot of shoulder mobility as well. When you're winding up for the serve, you need to be able to pull back your shoulder and actively move through the shoulder rotation to strike the ball. So again, from here, you're moving through the motion to strike the ball. So you need a lot of shoulder mobility for that motion. So other than in tennis, good mobility for your hips, your shoulders, your legs and everything will be good in your daily lives as well. Whether you are climbing stairs, you are bending down, or maybe even walking. Yeah, all these can be helped by having good mobility in your body as it manages to use all your muscles more efficiently. So for today, our exercises will mainly be based around improving your hip, your shoulder, as well as your back mobility. Let's check it out.
For our first exercise, we have shoulder dislocates. Okay, don't get too frightened by the name. It doesn't have anything to do with dislocating your shoulders, it's just the name of the exercise. For this exercise, it's really great at loosening up your shoulders, providing you a good range of motion that you can make use on the court when you are performing your strokes and your techniques, such as your serves or your forehands or backhands. For this exercise, just bear in mind, try not to strain too much. If you feel that you really cannot put it back, don't force it. Go at a length that you are comfortable with. For our second exercise, we have the hip mobility squat. Okay, this exercise is just performed as a normal squat, but in this case, you are focusing more on keeping your back straight and your posture good throughout the entire exercise. The purpose of this exercise is to be able to move your hips more freely as you are performing the motion. This will help you move faster and with more flexibility on the court. Up next, we have toe touches. This exercise, I'm sure all of you are familiar with. It involves bending down to touch your toes. Try not to lean too far back, try to lean forward and bend down and really stretch out your hamstrings when you're performing this motion. Once again, this really helps out with your hip mobility as well as stretching your hamstrings to allow you to perform better and move more freely on the court. For our fourth exercise, we have the prone back extension. Okay, this exercise involves lying flat on the floor and using both hands to push yourself up, arching your back in the process. Okay, this is great exercise for your spinal mobility. Spinal mobility is great in tennis because when you're doing your hip rotations, you're involving the rotation of your spine as well. So being able to keep its mobility is great in allowing your forehands, your backhands, your serve all to gain more power when you're performing your strokes on the court. On top of that, having good spinal mobility helps prevent injury when you are playing tennis as well. Okay, for our final exercise, we have the kneading back extension or leg stretch. Okay, this exercise once again is good in improving your spinal mobility and it also stretches out your legs, which is found at your back muscles. This helps, of course, to perform better rotations of the spine when you are playing on the court.
Okay, so for all the exercises, as it is just a mobility exercise, you don't need to do a lot of reps for a set. Just make sure you do it with good form and you really stretch yourself out. So for most of it, you can do between 5 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. As usual, it is around 15 to 20 sets in total. I hope you guys found this video useful. Stay safe.